Hi, it's Terence Wallace, and welcome to my new series, Stories from the Road. In 2014, I decided to leave the corporate world behind and start my own business, Indelible Adventures Inc. This is a culmination of my writing, photography, speaking, and travel, and gave me a great opportunity to travel the world. And so, with my writing, I've been able to gather and collect many stories from all my adventures. So this series is a dedication to all of those stories. I hope you enjoy them. Join me this week as I visit the beautiful island paradise of Boracay in the Philippines. When I think of a tropical paradise, my mind doesn't automatically flip to the Philippines. Well, at least it didn't until I visited recently. Boracay is a small island in the Philippines located about 315 kilometers south of Manila and is 2 kilometers off the northwest tip of Panay Island in the Western Visayas region of the Philippines. Our trip to Boracay started from Toronto and we left flying directly to Seoul, which was about 13.5 hours. After a short stay in Seoul, we then flew on to Manila, which was another 4.5 hours, where we overnighted before flying on to the island of Panay and the airport of Catlacan. From Catlacan, the hotel shuttle picked us up from the airport and took us to a special lounge. Yes, we're very spoiled, obviously. We're staying at the Shangri-La on Boracay. And they did all of the speedboat transfers directly to the resort itself on the northwest tip of the island. Now, because we were staying at the Shangri-La, all of our transfers and all of the paperwork that we would have needed to get to Boracay had been completed by the hotel in advance. And so the transfer was very, very easy. Although if I was looking to stay anywhere else on the island, it was quite an ordeal with 1 to 2 hours wait in various lines, filling out various pieces of paperwork, etc. Now, as you may or may not know, Boracay had been closed by the President of the Philippines for about a 6-month period and reopened just prior to Christmas 2018. There was a ton of infrastructure work being completed, as well as new roads, sewage, power. All of those new infrastructure pieces had to be completed. Now, they're not all completed just yet. It's still very much a work in progress, but obviously a large proportion of that work has been completed. So if you're traveling anywhere around the island of Boracay, the traveling can be quite slow just based on the construction, etc. The Shangri-La speedboat service took us about a 10 to 15 minute ride north to the resort directly. Obviously it was fantastic, beautiful views of white beach, etc. as we sped by, and the crystal turquoise water was just stunningly beautiful. Anyway, as we arrived, the thing that surprised me most was that the hotel had native drummers, and they actually drum you and welcome you to the resort, which was a very nice touch. And it was a very enjoyable flight and process for coming to the resort. It was really great. We stayed in a room with a sea view, which overlooked Bunga Beach, which was one of the private beaches for the resort. Fantastically appointed, obviously, and very close and easy access to the beach. Fantastic weather. The weather was during our stay was about 33 Celsius for the whole 7 days. Just gorgeous. So now that we have arrived here at Boracay, let me just share with you our routine for the day. It consisted of waking early with the sunrise, taking a long walk along the beach and collecting shells before breakfast. Just a fantastic way to spend each morning. Breakfasts were a sprawling affair with dishes from all over the world. However, the piece de resistance was definitely their assortment of tropical fruits and local fit dishes. As an FYI, this is definitely not the place to come and expect to lose weight. I'm just saying. I absolutely loved the next part of our routine, and that was snorkeling. Yes, we'd snorkel every morning for an hour after breakfast in the ocean just off the beach in front of the hotel. The reef we found was chock full of tropical fish of all varieties, shapes and sizes, including large sea slugs, huge purple starfish, and the like, which you'd only expect to find in an aquarium. One of the big things that surprised me most is that I would never have imagined that the huge schools of fish would be so close to shore, all darting and frolicking about as if we weren't even there. So much fun to swim amongst them all in the ocean. A veritable feast for the eyes every day. By 9:30 we were fully ensconced under a coconut palm by the pool, which was set in a colourful garden full of all kinds of tropical plants including orchids, frangipani and bougainvillea, just to name a few. The routine for the remainder of the morning was to read and then nap before lunch. Then we'd taken by the pool with intermittent dips to cool off. Even though it was a warm 33 Celsius most days, it really didn't feel too hot with that ocean breeze caressing you. After lunching by the pool, it was time to recharge and re-energize, with the afternoon spent mostly working out or at the spa. Clearly, staying at a resort like the Shangri-La is a very special experience, and so it wasn't lost on me that this was a once-in-a-lifetime experience. I guess for me, it was about spoiling myself on my birthday. We did venture into town a couple of times to check out the hype, but I was a little disappointed each time. White Beach was crowded and touristy, and not really my cup of tea. But White Beach is the most famous beach on Boracay, and located some 3.5 kilometres or 25 minutes on the rut-filled road, with a maximum speed of about 10 kilometres an hour, from the resort, which was perched high on the northwest tip of the island, away from the crowds. So between the infrastructure revitalisation plan, not yet complete, and the large number of tourists and crowds on White Beach, it just sort of made for a less than optimal experience in the main area of the island. So only a couple of short visits over the course of our week was enough for me. So what did I like most about the week in paradise? Let's see. There were a few things that really were awesome other than what I've already outlined. Firstly, the hotel was set on a large sprawling mountainside and peninsula with private bays and 2 beaches, both excellent for snorkeling or swimming in the warm ocean waters. The views alone from our room were worth the price of admission. We looked out over the white sandy bay and coral reef just meters from our room with a brilliant blue azure sky during the day and a fiery red sunset each night on the western horizon. Another of the things that I liked was waking to the early morning sounds of the native birds in the trees outside our room at sunrise. This definitely reminded me of my upbringing and childhood in Australia. It's such a lovely way to wake up. Now, just the feeling of sand between my toes, the smell of salt water in my hair, and the sun on my skin felt absolutely divine. It was the perfect place to get away and completely decouple from work and the stresses of life. Strangely, there were parts of my time on Boracay that could have easily been confused with either Bali or Australia, as there were a host of similarities to both locations. This is definitely a place I would recommend, even though for me it was a 3-flight, 20+ hour trip time to get there. Yeah, I guess it's all part of the adventure, but once you get there, you may never want to leave. I'm just saying, it is absolute paradise. I found that Boracay was the sort of place that you had little choice but to relax and soak it all in. And now that I'm back, oh my God, do I miss it. Well, until next time, thanks for listening and all the best. If you'd like to learn more about Indelible Adventures Inc. and the services that we provide, please visit our website at www.indelibleadventures.com. Thanks for listening and have a great day.